Welcome into the Dynasty Total Access. It's your boy Expert, and this week I got the homie back. It's Lord Farquaad.
Let's get it.
But we don't want to forget, we also got the guest host. He's going to be holding it down while I'm in the jungle. It's the homie H-Speed. It's my boy Andre. What's up, dude?
What's good? Let's go back and get into these picks, man.
Okay, so like always, you know we got business to take care of. And we want to talk first about a game that's already been played in the Dynasty where we had a punter at the quarterback position.
Wow.
Now, I don't want to be the kind of guy or user in this league that tells another man how to play his game. But I just got to give a public service announcement like we always do on Total Access that if your punter goes in the game, you got to stop throwing the deep ball to your wide receivers. You must learn to check it down, throw it to the running back, and run the football. But that's just my opinion. What y'all think about the punter throwing the ball deep?
Well, it was wild. It was definitely wild. Hey, I watched the game, man, and my homie Farquaad was in the game, so... my man Butters, a.k.a. Mr. Stretch, a.k.a. the last Mohican, he was just throwing deep with his punter, and it was getting picked off every time. The ball was literally hanging, waiting for it to get picked off.
You got to watch the game. When the punter went in, he actually did the smart thing. I guess when it came to passing, he was throwing like screens, and it was effective. He was moving up the field, and then I don't know if the pressure came to him because I was bringing the house after that. I was blitzing pretty much every down, like daring you to throw the football. And when he started to go deep, I was like, oh wow, like I'm gonna come back and win this game. Well, as soon as the punter came in, I was like, I'm gonna win this game, regardless of what Madden does to me. I'm gonna win it. But I mean, his QB stats 2 for 4. He attempted 4 passes. I think and 3 of those 4 passes was deep downfield. I think he threw some picks on that also. So actually, no, I'm looking. He threw more than that. I'm looking at the Daddy League stats, and they don't even have the punter stats up there. That's crazy. But I think he threw 2-3 picks, I believe.
That's crazy, man.
I've seen at least 3 myself.
Yeah,
that's just crazy.
And was tossing downfield. So that's man. I don't know, man. Bad coaching.
That just goes to show that if you know, when you building your team and your roster, you might want to think about carrying 3 quarterbacks.
Absolutely.
Because his first 2 quarterbacks went out, and he didn't
I don't understand why we didn't go back and maybe put a wide receiver at quarterback or a running back at quarterback. I just think sometimes, now I've never seen this happen before in the Dynasty. So of course, if it's happened, someone will reach out to me and correct me in the DM and let me know. But I've never seen the punter have to go in. But I just think I'm playing a different game plan. But man, that's just my opinion. Sounds like y'all agree with me. But we'll move on. Next up, we got to talk about another new show in the Dynasty lineup.
Yeah.
It's the homie H-Speed with our boy Matty Ice and the Dynasty Primetime. Now, I got to listen to the show today. Talked about some really good topics. Talked about active users. Shout out to the homie Hot Tub jumping on the wagon. We appreciate that.
Hot Tub.
Big up to the homie there. Y'all talked about upsets in the Dynasty. Y'all talked about power. It was just a great all-around show. I know I appreciate it. I know Farquaad. I know you gotta love it. We love it when we hear these new shows.
Absolutely.
But just want a big shout out to H-Speed and Matty Ice on a great show today.
Hey, I love the plug. Hey, if you haven't checked out Primetime Dynasty, go ahead and check it out. It's a hard-hitting show. We coming real. We coming hard. And like we said, hey, don't get offended. Don't get butthurt about something we said. Don't take it personal. It's just our opinion. It's our show.
Okay, so Farquaad, and this is why I bring this up, and this is specifically for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing these shows pop up, and I love every bit of it. I love the Hurt Locker. I love the Primetime. I loved all these shows I get to see, but it makes me want to see the next episode of Love Hate, and I want to know when the next Love Hate episode is coming.
Man, I've been kind of petitioning to get I want users actually on the show, and I've had a few users reach out, But nothing against them, but I want some of these Super Bowl winners, some of these elite users to come out, and put their team on the map. And it's been a bit difficult, but nevertheless, Love Hate Farquhar's Take will be back airing on Tuesday, man. I got something really special lined up. We're gonna come back and get this show back on the road, man. Wipe the dust off, because it's definitely been a while. But the main thing I want to do is get some guests on the show, man. So expect a special guest come Tuesday.
No doubt. I can't wait. I probably won't be able to hear it till I get back where there's some actual cell phone service, because whether you believe it or not, there's no cell phone towers in the jungle down in Peru. But I cannot wait to hear that. It's one of my favorite shows in the Dynasty. It's Love Hate. I can't wait to hear that. But let's get into Week 5 picks. Now, of course, there's already been 5 games played, but we'll go ahead and go through the rest of these games because there's still some good ones to talk about. Mm-hmm. And we're going to start with the defending Super Bowl champions. It's the homie Hot Tub and those Broncos. He's traveling to Washington to play underrated in the Redskins and the rookie QB sensation, Mr. Jeffers. For me, this was an easy pick because the Broncos are picking up right where he left off last year, and he's going to beat the Redskins pretty easy. Broncos with the win.
I'm looking at these numbers, man. He's the number 1 offense in the league, averaging a little over 400 yards a game. He's number 2 team in passing, 295, 5 yards off 300 yards a game, and that's what O.C. McMichael's down. And he's number 2 in rushing, right behind the homie HB with 124 yards a game. He's just got a complete team, and he can stop the run. I mean, this team is complete on both sides of the football. I don't see Jeffers, I don't see Redskins making it happen. Shouts out to you, bro. But man, this team is balanced, and he shows it without his best player, potentially one of the best players on this team. Broncos with the huge one this week.
Absolutely. Before I make my pick, I want to go ahead and make some. I got 5 games I want to pick. I'm going to go with Buffalo with a 38-34 victory. I'm thinking the Falcons going to win, and I got a score to predict on that. I'm thinking they'll beat New Orleans 38-10.
Dude, Nostradamus over here.
Hey, I got the Texans beating the Rams 34-21. I got Jacksonville just dominating Arizona 20-3. And finally, I got my Tennessee Titans and Harris Buckner running all over top of the San Francisco 49ers. I'm thinking Buckner's going to get about 250 yards rushing and about 4 touchdowns. All right. Broncos, easy pick. Let's go on.
All right. Next up, it's a game that we know is already played. It's the Bucs and the Dolphins. So we got to touch on it. And I'm going to say this. This is all I'm going to say because, we love the homie Mo Booker. We really do love Mo Booker on Total Access. And absolutely. I never want to say anybody would ever pull the plug on anybody. Right. So I'm going to give Mo Booker the benefit of the doubt. But the Bucs are going to get the force win here. And he actually won the game that they played. And I think it was like, what y'all say, 15, 16 seconds left on the clock in the fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to say this, and I'm going to petition the league right now. I know at least one commission's listening. Hopefully SJ and Tone Dog are listening, guys. When we give this force win to the Bucs, this needs to be with no injuries on, so his starters can get the XP they deserve, so we don't have to change up the lineup. I'm going to petition. What do y'all think about that? Because he won the game with 15 seconds left. And for him to have to change his roster up to take an injury here or there when he didn't have any in the game, I think that's the best course of action. What y'all think?
Me, I like it, but I don't like it.
Okay.
Because it's one of those things where you do it for one, you're gonna have to do it for another. And I'd be damned if I'm in a game with someone, or one of my opponents is later in the season, I need them to lose, and something like that's happened, and I have to see them next week, and play it. I like it, but I don't like it. I mean, it's unfortunate, but I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna agree with Expert on this one, only because the game was 24 to a Krispy Kreme. The game was over.
Yes, sir.
6 seconds to go. I mean, no injuries. I mean, 16 seconds. It's just that type of circumstance that we have to actually look out for. And if it was just a regular force win, I would say no. But I think this was a special circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I understand what Farquaad, I understand what you're saying. You do for one, you got to do for all. But like HB said, it's just a special circumstance. But not in our power. And I promise you this, Gil Garza the type of dude, no matter which way it goes, he going to respect whatever decision happens.
Absolutely.
Because that's just the type of dude that he is. And y'all watch out. Gil Garza right now is on a roll. If he on your schedule the rest of the year, you better take a whole day to watch film and study this guy because he is coming for heads right now. With that being said, let's move on to the next game. It's Darkness and the Bengals going up against Mr. Houdini and the Ravens. Now, I predicted the Ravens to win last week versus Mr. HBO himself. And he let me down. He played well. He did play well. HBO played pretty well. But this week, he's got a tough matchup with a very good defensive player in Darkness and the Bengals. So I got to go with the Bengals. Can't pick the Ravens 2 weeks in a row.
I'm gonna go with this. Is gonna be a nice little divisional matchup. I've watched Houdini play a few of these games, man. I like his playing style. You know, he's playing with a pretty depleted, Ravens team anyway. I feel like we won't see his full potential until the most important season of all, 2024. Shouts out to the homie Darkness down there, man. I'm going with Houdini with this, man. I'm actually gonna go on the other than pick him this week, man. That's one of my upset picks, man. Houdini with the win this week.
Okay, I got to be the tiebreaker here. So, this actually just a coin flip type of game, only because like Farquaad said, I've watched Houdini and the Ravens play, and I was impressed with some of the things that I've seen, but I wasn't impressed with that game that he lost to the Steelers.
Yeah.
Having said that, I'm gonna go ahead and stick with Darkness. I think his track record is better. I think his defense is a little bit better. And I think he's more prepared for this game.
I believe it. Next up, it's the OG Chris Murray going up against King Vitamin and the Browns. Now, King Vitamin started the year off rough, Farquaad and Speed. Started in the hole 0-2. Promise you that's not where Vitamin wants to be, but he's come back. He's won the last couple games. He's looked impressive, but he's going up against a very dangerous user in Chris Murray, who has some weapons on both sides of the football. This was probably one of the most difficult games for me to call this week. I respect both of these users, both of them on the stride up, but I gotta go with the homie Chris Murray in this one. This was my upset pick. I think he's got a little bit more weapons on offense than he had last year, and he is going to beat the Browns in a close one.
I think this is definitely going to be a very close game. I'm not going to spend too much time on this pick, though. The homie's 2-2 right now. Mr. Vitamin's 2-2. He does. This is a position where he does not want to be in. Early in the season. This is gonna be a close game, but I'm going with them Cleveland Browns with 2 touchdown win this week.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, that's a big win.
Yeah.
Definitely a big win. Now for me, man, every time I gotta pick a game concerning the Raiders, man, I go back and I watch his games, and I don't see like how he be losing some games. I know he been having some bad luck. He is a good user. His offense, his weapons.
No doubt.
I mean, I'm really impressed. Having said that, I think King Vitamin has got it rolling right now. We watched that Kansas City blowout. We commentated it, and I think he got it going. So I think we're gonna go with the Browns this week as well.
I can't be upset about that pick. Madden really does not like Chris Murray for some reason. Last year, he hated Chris Murray last year. Did everything against him. But he's going to get it rolling. Next up, it's the homie HBO and those Steelers going up against Hamiltop and the Vikings. Now, the Steelers was impressive last week, beating the Ravens. watched a little bit of the commentary he had while he played. So first, homie HBO, listen, man. Next time you play, get you a little cup of ice water. Have it just sitting next to the bed, wherever you sitting at, playing on the couch. Just take a drink every once in a while. I feel like you about to die when you play, especially after you either make a big play or a big play happens against you. I feel like I need to be dialing 911, sending somebody to your house to bail you out. But this week, it's not the Ravens. You got a user in this league in the Vikings who's very, very good, and he's struggling right now in that NFC North, which is the best division in the Dynasty, top to bottom. And he needs this win, and I'm picking the Vikings to beat the Steelers.
I like this Pittsburgh defense. Thomas Lamar, that left. I mean, not Thomas Lamar. Thomas Lamar. That end man. He's not bad. He flies off that against those offensive linemen, man. He's pretty solid. I think he's got like 5 or 6 sacks this season so far. I like that line. Minnesota has a pretty good offensive line also, so that's where the game is going to be won, in the trenches for this particular game. I see this being a low-scoring game, seeing that he has very low-speed wide receivers in Pittsburgh against a mediocre defensive backs in Minnesota. So this is going to be a low-scoring game for me. I'm going to go with HB with the upset, man. 17-14.
Wow. Okay. All right. So until HB get another quarterback, I can't pick him. If he went with this 57 rated overall quarterback in this game, I'd be very impressed. Having said that, I'm going to go with the Vikings with the win.
Absolutely. Next up, it's the Donut Man, John, and those Eagles going up against Skill Trade and the Chiefs. Now, HB touched on a little early. We got to live commentate a game, which, man, I had a blast doing that, HB. I can't wait. We need to do that again soon.
Absolutely.
Had a blast. Wish it would have been a better game. And the Chiefs came out and just laid a donut on the scoreboard. And it wasn't even a donut with sprinkles on it. It was just one of them plain Jane donuts with no frosting on it, no glaze, nothing. The
dry ass donut. Jeez.
Last donut in the box that nobody wants. That's the type of game he had, and that's not how the homie Skill Trade plays.
It was a garlic bagel.
A garlic bagel. A 3-day-old garlic bagel by the Chiefs. With that being said, the Eagles are playing pretty good football. Played a very tough game versus the Giants. Could have got that win had he made a couple more plays. And I think he makes the plays this week, and he beats the Chiefs. No disrespect to Skill Trade. I'm picking the Eagles.
Shouts out Donut Man. Shouts out Skill Trade. I'm not going to spend too much time on this pick. This is a toss-up pick for me also, but I'm going to say Eagles with a slight win this week.
All right. Man, it's hard for me to pick the Chiefs after watching that game, though. Having said that, I think this might be a bounce back game for him. Hopefully, he listened to the broadcast, listened to some of our advice, and make some of the changes to get a victory. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs on this one.
All righty. Next up, it's the co-commish Tone Dog and those Seahawks coming into Big D to play expert in the Cowboys. Now, the Dallas Cowboys let me down last week versus the Chargers. Shout out to Breezy. With a big win. Played really well. Cowboys just didn't have their head in the game. No excuses. We'll take that loss and move forward. But the Cowboys will bounce back this week. We will beat the Seahawks. We will improve to 4-1. And we're going to keep it moving in Big D. Cowboys with the win.
Ooh, I feel like this is going to be a nice little smash mouth football game. Both of you guys produce running the football. I mean, Tone he's top 5 every year by the end of the season when it comes with the run. You behind that Goliath of an offensive line you've got there down in Big D, and Ezekiel, that's impressive in itself every year. This is going to be a close game, I feel like. I feel like Tone's going to, he's got a tough division that he's going to have to fight for. He fights for year in, year out. In order to stay afloat in that division, he's going to have to win this game. It's a very good user in the homie expert. But with that being said, I don't see it happening this week, man. Expert with the win, 4-1.
Okay. So I think both of these guys are going to be hungry this week. I think Expert want to get that bad taste out of his mouth from the game that he had with the Chargers. Shout out to Breezy's barber. But this is a close game. I thought this could have been the game of the week as well. I think I'm gonna go with the Cowboys for the win to get back on track.
Appreciate that. Next up, it's the Dynasty game of the week.
Yeah! Are y'all ready? What? Yeah! Y'all ready to play some football? Just got big D. Check this. Let's go. If you want it, you can get it. Let me know.
It is the homie C-Rob and those Carolina Panthers headed up north to face our homie Spiro and the New York Giants. Now, this is going to be a good game. I can see this game going two ways, though, guys. The Giants either can blow you out with that offense he got, or he can make some mistakes on the offensive side of the ball and keep you in the ball game, which is what the Panthers love to do on the defensive side of the ball. They love to make big, flashy plays on that defense. They love to hit you in the mouth when you catch the football. And I think that's what they're going to do this week. I think the Panthers, with that offensive balance that he has, goes into New York and beats the Giants in a close one. I'm picking the Panthers.
This game is tough, man. Shouts out C-Rob. Shouts out Sparrow. I can't go against Sparrow, man. That he plays so unorthodox sometimes. It blows my mind watching him play at times. But those wide receivers, it's just too much speed on that field. I'm giving this. Hell no, man. I'm giving this to C-Rob. I'm sorry. Panthers with the win this week, man. Panthers with the win.
Wow, I thought you was gonna give it to Spiro right there.
Man, last minute change, man. The Libra and me had to make a last minute change, man.
Absolutely. All right, so look, I watched the Giants play the Rams in a wild finish. Like, I had given the victory to H-Town because he had got the ball and intercepted it, took it to the 50. The Giants had one timeout left, so I assumed that H-Town was just gonna run the ball out, run the clock out. I said, good game. Come back. The Giants won the game. It was unbelievable finish. I think the Giants going to take that momentum, and I think they're going to carry it into this game. And I got them winning the game. When you get those type of wins, sometimes that momentum will occur you 3 or 4 games down the line.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt about that. All right, last game on the schedule. It's the homie Matty Ice and those Packers going up against Addy 5 and the Chicago Bears. This is a big game in the NFC North. Both of these guys must get a win to keep pace with the Detroit Lions. They cannot afford to take another loss. You got the defending NFC North champion in the Bears, and you got the up-and-comer Matty Ice with that reach of a quarterback playing well. This is going to be a tough game to call. But you know I got to go with my homie Addy 5. I'm picking the Bears in a close one. No disrespect to Matty Ice. Love what he's doing in Green Bay. But I'm picking the Bears with the win.
Shouts out to the homie Matty Ice, man. Again, if you guys didn't check out Primetime with H-Beat and the homie Matty, man, check that out. That show, I love listening to H-Beat's take. And along with Matty Ice's take, man, that was a very good show. I'm definitely interested to hear more than that. My man in Green Bay, he's turning the pieces around. He's bringing in new pieces. And like we said in earlier episodes, man, Matty Ice is gonna come in and make some noise. He's a good user, very good user. I know Chicago's gonna come out strong this game because he had to unfortunately take the forced loss. in the first match. The earlier was it week 1, I believe, week 1, week 2 matchup.
Right. Week
Green
2.
Bay week 2. Green Bay took the win. So I think this is the first time he's playing Chicago. Matty Ice is playing. These two users actually play, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna go with Chicago. I think Chicago at the homie Addy's gonna be alert with that quarterback. That quarterback he's a very accurate quarterback. I think Matty's gonna force a lot of these throws. The offensive line is not the best. Chicago's got a pretty stout defense. I'm going Chicago with the win in this division matchup.
Like it. Okay.
Shout out to my man Matty Ice, the co-host of Primetime. Like I said, if y'all haven't checked it out, it's a hard-hitting show, a show that you all definitely would like, and go ahead and check it out. Having said that, I think his quarterback is out. The rookie that he I don't know if he came back yet. No, he's still out for 2 weeks. So I think that's definitely going to affect this football game. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say the Bears quarterback was also out, and Keith Hatch, and he's out for 2 weeks. So this is the battle of the backup quarterbacks. I'm going to give it to my man, co-host, Matty Ice. I think this is a big game for him. I know he want to get that bad taste out of his mouth from losing to the Lions in the last game. So, Matty, go ahead and get that victory. I got him winning that game.
No doubt. That is our picks for week 5. It's just our opinion. Prove us right, prove us wrong. It's your homie expert. You know I got Farquhar with me.
Yes, sir.
And I got HB with me as well.
Let's go back.
Hey, we out.